Hello and welcome back to Launch With Me. This is the series where I am documenting all of the steps I'm taking behind the scenes to launch something brand new in my multiple six-figure business so that you can get a glimpse at what it looks like. If you haven't already, be sure to register for this program for free at the link in the description below this video. Doing that gives you access to a free Google Doc that I'm putting together that I'm updating after each of these videos goes live with main notes from each of the videos. That way, at the end of the series, in that Google Doc, you will have a complete outline of how I launch in my business so that you can follow that as basically a launch plan for your future launches if you want to. Also, if you want to get exclusive bonus content, then be sure to check out the VIP upgrade for this program. That is also available at the link in the description below. If it is currently not open for enrollment, it will be soon, so make sure to join the waitlist if enrollment is not currently open. Now with that, let's get into today's video. We are talking about how I write high converting sales pages. So let's dive in. All right, so it's been a little bit since the last video. I want to say by the time this video posts, it'll probably be about a week and a half or so since the last video in the series went up. And that's because over the last week and a half, I have been deep in the content creation phase of my launch. Just to bring you up to speed with an update between last video and now, over the last week and a half, is we successfully got through the first phase of my launch. If you go back to the last couple videos, you'll see how I laid out my launch in terms of three main phases. The first phase, which we just completed at the end of last week, was the warm-up phase, which is where I was just talking about the general topic that we're going to be covering in my paid offer. The general topic that we are working with inside of the Wealthify membership is wealth embodiment or money mindset or money embodiment, right? Like embodying wealth. If you are on any of my email lists or following me on social media on any of my various accounts, you would have seen emails or posts or videos go up, content that was talking about money and embodiment and how to embody your next level self. And I did a lot of storytelling. I did a lot of connecting with my audience. I did a lot of value. I gave a free wealth embodiment practice. I just started familiarizing people with the topic, kind of explaining why it's important, and also establishing myself as an authority, talking about what I've learned about wealth embodiment over the years. And I wove this all in throughout different pieces of marketing that went out. We're going to talk more about marketing content and specifically look at how I create the marketing content for the Wealthify membership itself in our next video. But I wanted to just give you this update to let you know that that's what we did for the last week. Was we just did this initial phase of content where we just kind of warmed up my audience. We just kind of let people know, hey, this is what we're talking about now, and started to plant those seeds, started to prime people, started to lay the foundations so that now, as we're entering the second phase of my launch, which is promoting the free event that we're going to do that then leads into selling the Wealthify membership, people are really ready for that. They're excited for it because they've been reading these emails or seeing these social media posts that are getting them to think a little bit more about wealth embodiment and start recognizing where they may have gaps in their embodiment of their next level of wealth and where they may have similar roadblocks that I had faced in some of the content I shared with them. Now that's kind of what we're moving into. I was seeing that the engagement with the warm-up content was doing really well on my different social media channels, especially the open rates. My emails were great, as well as my views on YouTube were a little bit higher than they usually are. And I haven't really talked about wealth embodiment on this channel before, so that was a really great sign that I have a warm audience for this. And my marketing was really hitting home. My content was hitting home. So I feel really good about how phase one of this launch went. I'm now feeling really good about phase two. As of today, which is August 15th, we are just a little over 24 hours into the second phase, like I said, of this launch where we are promoting the free event that is going to happen that will lead into the Wealthify membership. So that, now that we're about 24 hours into that launch, we already have almost 150 people enrolled for the free event. We just had an email go out yesterday. We had a post go up on each of my social media channels aside from YouTube. So it's gotten some good traction. I'm really happy with those numbers for a topic I haven't really talked about in this way before, for a slightly new audience or niche for my business. So I'm feeling very good about those numbers, feeling pretty good about this launch so far in general. That's the general update. I've also had a lot of clarity on what I'm going to be doing more and more inside the membership. I've had some really cool and fun ideas for ways that the people who join me inside of the membership, the people who enroll, are going to be able to engage in the membership in a way that really builds community very intentionally and very powerfully, and also opens up those doors to embodying your next level self even more than I initially imagined. So I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited for the people who jump in there with me. It's going to be so fun. It's going to be so powerful. And I'm just feeling so excited about the membership. So overall, feeling really good about the launch. Now, let's talk about sales pages. I wrote the content for the sales page for the Wealth Vibe membership a few days ago. So I now want to film this video to walk you through how I write this content in a way that really connects with people, really expresses the value of the offer, and typically leads to a good amount of sales. So what I think I'm gonna do in a moment here is share my screen with you so that you can see all the copy that I've written for the membership, and I'll walk you through my thought process and why I've structured it the way I have so that you can really understand my approach to writing sales pages. I don't have the final sales page to show you right now because I have just written the content for it, and I've sent a copy of that over to my team. They're currently building the page out on my website. So once the page is done, I will be sure to come back here into my other videos and drop the link for the sales page in the description below this video once that's ready, probably about a week or so after this video uploads, so that you can see exactly what it looks like once the finished product is done. Now, before I share my screen with you and show you the content that I've written for the sales page, I do want to touch on a couple things that are a little bit more internal, because I've noticed for myself that I tend to have a lot of resistance to writing sales pages. For almost every offer in my business, I have procrastinated or not wanted to, or felt just some resistance or stickiness around writing the sales page. And it's just a matter of like, even when I sit down to do it, it feels kind of difficult at first a lot of the time for me. I always feel like it's really hard, or I don't know exactly what to say. So I want to share with you that that's something that I still experience at this point in time. For me, I know where this comes from. It comes from this pressure that I'm putting on myself to write the perfect sales page. And I think a lot of people fall into this trap because your sales page is important. It is. I know that I tend to put a lot of pressure on myself to say exactly the right thing, or think I have to make this most perfect, persuasive sales page. And what I do when I feel this kind of pressure or resistance creeping in around writing my sales pages is I mentally come back to a few important things, and then I go sit down and write the sales page. I want to give you those things that I keep in mind here in case they help you when you're writing your sales page. Those things were to remember that your job when selling is not to convince or persuade. It is to just help people determine whether this offer is right for them or not. When I approach my sales pages from that way, it just becomes about sharing. It just becomes about sharing the information, sharing what I'm excited about, sharing the value I know this offer is going to hold with people. And it's no longer about what do I need to say to convince people. It's what do I want to say to help people see what I see in this offer so they can decide whether it's right for them or not. To me, this is such a crucial shift. This is very much how my next level self thinks. This is how, when I think this way, my writing and my sales pages are much more potent, and I'm much more happy with them, and we tend to see more conversions off of them. So that's the first thing. The second thing that I really connect with and keep in mind is to really write from my heart. So for me, what this means is that when I'm writing the first draft of a sales page, I tend to write kind of more poetically, more of the esoteric or vague or intangible things. That to me comes much more easily and naturally. So I tend to do a brain dump almost of just allowing myself to write out everything I want to say and everything that just feels easy for me to say about this offer. And then once I've done that, then I go back through and start seeing, okay, where can I talk more about the tangible results? Where can I talk more about the transformation that people are going to experience when they come into this membership? Where can I add in a little bit more of the traditional sales aspects of a sales page that I know are very powerful, but that maybe don't come to me as naturally or as easily. So for you, this might be flipped. You might have a very easy time of just listing out what's included, all the logistics, things like that, but then need to maybe sit down and intentionally push yourself a little bit to add in some more pieces that connect with your audience, some more pieces that are maybe more storytelling or things like that. So there's a lot of different ways you can approach writing sales pages. I just like to give myself that permission to just write what I want to say, write what comes through right from my heart, and then go back through and clean it up and add in whatever else is missing or whatever other pieces I know people will need in order to then be ready to purchase or decide whether it's for them or not. And then the third and last thing I keep in mind when writing a sales page is to write the sales page for a past version of me. Now, this won't always be the case for every offer you put out, but for most of my offers, I tend to create content that I needed a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. So when I write a sales page, instead of, again, thinking, how do I write so that people are gonna get this and so that people will see the value in it and they'll wanna purchase, I just think to myself, what would my past version of me who needed this offer, what would she have loved to see on the sales page that would have made her go, oh my God, I need that, I'm absolutely purchasing. That's who I write to, is that past version of me. And then from there, again, after I do a first draft of that, I I tweak things a little bit. If some things are too hyper specific to me, I make them more general. Or if I feel like there's another example I could give that I didn't go through, but that I know most people who would be looking at this offer are going through, I'll include something like that on the sales page as an example of where my ideal client maybe is and where they want to be. So this isn't to say you have to write to exactly who you used to be, but for me that helps me create a really good jumping off point and have a good way of creating a sales page that I really enjoy because it resonates with me. And I know if it resonates with me, it'll resonate with other people out there as well. So those are the main things I keep in mind when writing my sales pages. I had to remind myself of these things for this sales page. It was no exception. I hope that these things maybe help you too if you find yourself having resistance or pressure around sales pages. But yeah, overall, I'm really happy with how the content for this came out. And so we'll dive into that in a minute. But just to kind of make this very clear for you, I want to talk briefly about what actually goes into a sales page. Basically, in my mind, a sales page is created from all of the prep work that we did in videos, I believe 2 through 6 of this series. So if you haven't watched those, go back and check them out, because in there we cover so many different things that we will now start to incorporate in our sales page. Because honestly, you probably can even go back to some of the prompts that I gave you in those videos. And if you answered those prompts, you might even just be able to copy and paste what you wrote for a lot of those prompts into your sales page, and then a lot of your sales page is already written. In my mind, a sales page should speak to the ideal client and their desires and struggles, talk about the transformation that your offer facilitates. A sales page should also position your offer as the vehicle that will help take your ideal client on that transformation. Right? It'll help them go from their current struggles to their desires. It should also provide the logistics of your offer. So things like any start dates or end dates, or when enrollment closes, or pricing, or what's included, all of just the basics of what are you getting in this offer and what do you need to know about it. It should also, of course, give people a way to purchase your offer. So buttons or links or calls to action that tell people what they need to do next in order to purchase. And now this part is optional, but sales pages can also include FAQs. So those frequently asked questions that people are probably going to have about your offer, or that you've been getting about your offer and you're kind of tired of answering. And it also can include a testimonial section if you have any testimonials or reviews from past clients, from related offers, from free sessions you've done, anything like that. But again, this is optional. You don't have to have that. There are infinite configurations and approaches to sales pages. My approach to them has changed over the years, and the structures that I follow or the approaches I take to them shift from offer to offer. There isn't just one template for sales pages that I follow that I use for every single offer in my business. Though I think what I will do is I will create an outline of the general structure that I most frequently follow for my sales pages and that I kind of followed for the Wealth Vibe sales page. And I will probably give that to the people who are enrolled in the VIP upgrade for Launch With Me. So if you want access to that outline so that you kind of have like a little roadmap to follow when building out your sales page in terms of the copy, you can absolutely click the link in the description below this video to get info on the VIP upgrade if it is open for enrollment. If not, just join the waitlist and it will be open very soon. So yeah, in a minute, I will share my screen here and I will walk you through the sales page that I have written for the Wealth Vibe. Overall, I'm very happy with how the sales page turned out. I love when I write a sales page and then I take a step back and look at it and go, oh my gosh, I would absolutely buy this program if I weren't the person selling it. Like, I would absolutely buy this. I can totally see this. This is a no-brainer. Oh my gosh, this makes it even clearer for me, the creator of this offer, to see the value of it. I think that's when you know you have a really good sales page on your hand, is when you look at it and you go, oh my God, I want to buy this program after reading what I just wrote. I think then you're onto something good. So I feel very good about the sales page. So yeah, let's take a peek at it together.
All right, so here we have the copy for the Wealth Vibe membership. We're going to run through here what's included. You'll see when I have little brackets, it's kind of just instructions to my team. So this is just, I'm telling them at the top, I want the banner that they're making right now with the graphics for the Wealth Vibe on it. So it'll say the Wealth Vibe, it'll have our tagline here. And then I have just 2 little lines here that kind of just say a little bit more. It's a little bit more about what's included in the membership. And then we have just a little kind of general big idea or, main thought or kind of thing that gets people's attention or kind of gets them to perk up a little bit and go, oh, that's interesting, right? Just a little intrigue, right? And then we have our timer counting down to enrollment, or when enrollment is closed, because it's only open the last week of each month for this offer, then we have a timer instead for when enrollment will next open. If we can do timers, I'm not sure with this new website that we're using, but I'll have to ask my team, but that's the plan. And then we have a button to join. I always like having a button pretty high up on the page, just so people always know where to purchase. Personally, a pet peeve of mine is when the people have these long sales pages, which this one is long. It is, I believe, 8 or 9 pages long here. It looks like 9. So I hate when people have a long sales page and I have to scroll and scroll and scroll to find the button, because I don't always need to read an entire sales page before I'm ready to purchase. A lot of people will know right away or partway through a sales page if they want to purchase. And if they know that there is a button at the top, that's great. They can just scroll right back up to it. Or if you have buttons throughout the page, even better. But personally, I hate it when the button to join or to purchase or enroll is buried somewhere way down on the page and I have to go hunting for it. It makes me that much less likely to buy. That's just me. I know that's a lot of people, not everyone. Some people love putting their buttons further down the sales page. You do you. That's just my preference. So this is where we really start to get into the content. By the way, I have these little dashes, which just indicate kind of like this is a new section. So I'm really leaving it up to my team how they want to put graphics in or photos of me, or, you know, break up with color blocking or with different backgrounds or styles or anything like that. I'm kind of leaving that up to them. I have, you know, things like headers in more bold or bigger text. And I have some formatting in here, but for the most part, like how they want to lay it out, I'm going to leave it up to them, and then we'll all review together. Once it's all done, I will review with my team, and then we will make any changes and it will be complete. So when we get into the copy here, what I'm doing, what I tend to do, at least how I'm approaching this sales page, is I'm really connecting with my ideal client with where I know they are right now. So this is from that module in the series where I got clear on who my ideal client for this offer is. And so I took a lot of what I wrote there and I either copied and pasted it or I tweaked it. So I know I had written things like, my ideal client knows they're destined for financial abundance. They've had big up levels around money in the past potentially, so they even know it's possible. Or even if they haven't, they can so clearly know what their life will look like once that money is in their life. Like you can see how all this is here in this text. And then I have, if you'll remember when we were talking about the tangible and intangible results, and also the struggles and the desires of our ideal clients, I said, like, write specific examples of what this would look like in an observable way in their lives. So when my ideal client is imagining what their next level of wealth looks like, these are some of the things right here in italics. These are the things, just examples of what they might be envisioning, what they might be wanting for themselves. And so I have that here. So all of this is connecting with my ideal client. This is meant to be the section where people read it and go, oh my God, this is me. This is me. This is for me. Okay, I'm going to keep reading because she is speaking directly to me. I resonate with this. Because if people come in here and they start reading this and they go, oh, this isn't for me, they can just leave. Then they're not the right person. So I really like to kind of get that in the earlier parts of my sales pages. I like to kind of qualify my audience, but kind of just be like, hey, if you're connecting with this, keep reading, right? If you're not, like, then people will leave. So they don't need to waste their time learning what's included in this membership or in this offer. If someone's like, this is not me, I do not resonate with any of this, I don't need them to find what's in the offer and be like, oh, I'm going to buy it, and then come in and not have read this and then not be the right fit or be unhappy with what they purchased, right? Now I have here, as we move on, just kind of more connection with my ideal client. And this is really all connecting with their desires. Like, this is what you want for yourself. This is who you are. This is what you want for yourself. And then I switch into talking about what they're struggling with. In the past, I've done this in the reverse order when I talk about what they're struggling with and then switch into what they desire. You can do it whichever way you want. But I say, but then reality hits. You look at your bank account and you don't see the numbers you want. You talk to your partner or friend or family member about your dreams and they respond with worries, concerns, or doubt around money. You scroll social media and feel a sense of jealousy mixed with frustration as you see someone else sharing news of a big promotion, posting pictures of a luxury vacation, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's like I have these very specific examples of what my ideal client is struggling with on a surface level, on a way that people would go, yeah, that's me. To some, if not all of these examples. I have 4 examples here. And again, these are things I wrote in my prep work, right? In the work we did earlier in this series. And I honestly copied and pasted a lot of this in here and just tightened it up a little bit and just edited the language a little bit. And then I talk more about what's going on internally, what's going on beneath the surface, the less tangible struggles that people have. These are more tangible. These are very observable. more surface level. These ones I'm getting more into connecting with them about their deeper struggles, the thoughts that are going through their head, the self-doubt, the feeling like you're working so hard and you can't work any harder, but you have to work hard to make more money, right? Like that kind of question of like, what am I doing wrong? I feel like I'm doing all the things right, and yet the money's not coming. So this is, again, all stuff that was in that prep work. And then I kind of just bring it home with like, really, what's the true issue that we're solving here? What's the true issue that this offer solves? That all of these struggles lead people to end up with this issue, which is because how are you supposed to act as if, or live in the state of the wish fulfilled, or embody your higher self, or feel abundant when everywhere you turn is evidence that you're not where you want to be, when everywhere you look, it just feels like money's hard to make, or you're broke, or it's hard to feel abundant before the money comes in. That's really what the wealth vibe solves, right? So then I introduce the wealth vibe. I'm positioning this as the solution to their problem, because it is, in my mind. So I talk about, I say introducing, and then I have them, it says like the wealth vibe in big text or a banner. And then it's a membership designed to be your oasis of abundance. And I'm really just driving home that it's a place for you to plug into and amplify the energy of your wealth, right? It's a place to embody your next level self. This is a space that will continue to grow as you up level into more and more money, the bridge between your current financial reality and limitless abundance. So this, whatever that next level of wealth looks like to you, this is the space to fully embody it and embody it ongoingly, all so that you can finally manifest the wealth you desire. So here I'm positioning my offer as the solution to their problem. I'm positioning it as the thing that takes them from point A to point B, from taking them to where they are now with where they're struggling to where they want to be when they have their desires. This is the vehicle. This is the thing that's going to help you get there. And then again, I have another button to enroll, because I just felt like that's a good place to have it. You kind of already said, hey, when we're going through the top of this is, are you wanting these things? Are you struggling with these things? With this issue? Well, then here's the solution to get you from those struggles to those desires. Do you want to purchase? Because for a lot of people, they'll be ready at that point, right? Then I have even more. Now, I could have left it there, right? I could have left it here. This would still be a good sales page. It'd be a shorter sales page, but I had more to say. There's so much that was pouring out of me, so I just went with it. I think you can have a longer sales page is fine, as long as, again, you just break it up and you have opportunities for people to purchase whenever they're ready. So meaning different buttons or calls to action throughout the page. I didn't intend to write a sales page that was this long. I'll say that. So yours does not have to be as long as mine. It also will depend on what kind of offer you're selling, and how kind of familiar people are with the offer or with the problem that you're solving, and how much they know they need this offer. So sometimes our sales pages are very short, sometimes they're long, but you use your best judgment. And again, that inner guidance, that intuition, that trust you're building in yourself, right? Of what feels right to you in terms of how long your sales page needs to be. So for me, there was just so much more to say about the membership. So we have a long sales page. So here, I kind of talk more about the actual transformation that people can see when they start to embody their wealthiest self, which is what we're doing inside of the Wealth by Membership. And this I felt was so powerful. I originally had it lower down on my sales page, and then I read it again, and I had my husband read it, and he's like, that needs to be a lot higher up on the sales page. I was like, you're right, because this is amazing. So for me, I loved writing this section. This was, again, I copied and pasted a lot of these lines from the prep work I did when I talked about what transformation my offer was going to facilitate for my ideal clients. And so I honestly copied and pasted a lot of what I had written there into this document. So what I have here is I say, get ready for your financial reality to change. This is transformation, right? The Wealth Vibe is designed to help you embody your wealthiest self. And when you do that, amazing things happen. So now I'm painting the picture for them of how this is going to change their lives. How am I going to help them with this offer move into these desires, away from these struggles, out of this problem, right? How is what we're doing inside of the Wealth Vibe, how is that actually going to change their financial reality? And so I paint the picture here for them. I say you immediately shift out of desperate, needy energy, which repels people, and into an empowered, confident energy that magnetizes people to you and makes them feel confident in paying and hiring you. You operate from alignment, creating and taking action from your soul, and in operating differently, you suddenly find yourself busting through blocks around money or plateaus in your income that have plagued you for months, if not years. You show up as the most authentic, magnetic version of you in all areas of your life, no longer worrying what others think, and instead fearlessly innovating and paving your way to wealth. You do your best, most inspired work, making it impossible for people to ignore the value you bring to the table, having dream clients or employers lining up and asking to pay or hire you. You eliminate any competition or comparisonitis, standing fully in your power, standing out, and resulting in clients and employers chasing you. You tap into endless inspiration, motivation, and energy, making it easy to show up and take actions that bring your desired wealth into reality. You know you are unstoppable and that no amount of money, no level of success, no lifestyle, nothing is off limits to you. That's so powerful in my mind. Like when I read that, I'm like, oh my God, this is a no-brainer for people to join. I would buy this if I weren't the one selling it. So I love this because I love doing these sorts of sections, which I don't always do for my offers, but when I feel inspired to do them and when you do the prep work, they're easy to do. But I think this is where people cut corners, is it's like, I'm painting a picture here of, I talk about like these are kind of like the transformations you're making. These are the changes you're making in italics. And then this is the result of that. This is the result. And even in here, I have like, you no longer worry about what others think. Like these are some of the struggles, right? Like, so I'm including the struggles, the desires, the transformation. It's all in these sentences. These are so powerful. So once I have painted that picture for people, now I get more into the logistics, right? It's again, like I said earlier, I want people to know that this is for them before they even bother hearing what's the actual offer, what's inside of the Wealth Vibe membership. I don't want them to worry about that until they have read this far in the page and they go, oh, hell yes, I need this. Because then it doesn't matter so much what form it takes. It matters a little bit to some people because some people don't like certain structures. Some people hate memberships. That's fine. This won't be for them when they get to this point. But some people don't really care the way you're delivering it or the form it takes so much or even the price of it. They want to make sure it's right for them. So that's what I've done up until this point in the sales page, right? So then I say here's what's inside of the Wealth Vibe membership. And we're going to have these kind of broken up probably into little boxes. So they're easy to read, but I have 6 features of what's included: community, a monthly live stream, a monthly challenge, easy access to it online, bonus initiation call for your first month in the membership, bonus content that I'll be putting in there. So I just talk about what's included and why they would want each of these things. Again, you can, you'll see this once the page is done and you can read through this more in depth, but that's kind of what's included. And then I get into pricing and enrollment because enrollment's only open the last 7 days of each month. So I explain that here. And I say it's a monthly membership, no long-term commitments. You can cancel at any time. Membership is $25 per month. So it's just telling them the price. Some people don't put the price on the sales page. They put it on a button and then you got to click it. That's fine too. I really love having my prices just out there and transparent for people. Because that's how I like to purchase, right? That's how I like to be sold to. That's how I like to find out what the pricing is. I want to be able to just look and see and know for myself, not have to reach out to ask you or to jump through a bunch of hoops or click a million buttons to find that. That's just me. Then I go and introduce myself. And in here, I'm kind of establishing myself as an authority. I'm talking about why I'm kind of qualified to teach on this. I talk about my journey with money, the big leaps I've made around money, and how I've helped so many other people around money, how I've been featured in publications for my approaches to money mindset and what I'm teaching on here, some of the results my clients have had. Again, you may or may not have all of these things and these qualifications, but you can still have kind of talking about like, why am I qualified to teach on this? Why am I passionate about this? What have I struggled with and learned around this that I can offer you? You know, where was I? What was my journey with this? And that way, again, it's just connecting with people and sharing why they should want to work with you, why they're lucky to get to work with you. I even talked about kind of my inspiration for the Wealth Vibe, because it's something that I've struggled with, right? This is something that once I did learn how to intentionally embody and manifest wealth, I had my own struggles with actually holding that embodiment. And there's still times when I struggle with that at times, right? I'm still learning, I'm still perfecting, but I've come such a long way. And I've seen how this is an issue that other clients of mine and other people in my audience and in my world have faced. Is once you know how to embody and manifest wealth, you think you're like, that's it, I figured it out around money. But being able to actually hold that, being able to implement that ongoingly and through each up level and into each new and level of wealth and the next, that's a whole different issue. That's a whole different beast. And that's what this membership is helping people move through and helping people master. So I've said here, like, this is a space for me. It's a space for you. It's a space for all of us to step into new levels of wealth together. All right, and then we have our frequently asked questions section. This is just where I have a lot of things that people will email my team about. I've run memberships in the past, so I know what kind of questions I'm going to be getting. I just have them here, and I'm going to have my team, put them into a little collapsible or accordion kind of place on the sales page so it doesn't take up too much space when you're scrolling through. But this is really more about logistics or what to expect inside of the membership in terms of what I'm not doing in there or not guaranteeing, just kind of putting up expectations and boundaries from the get-go. And just, again, I know these are just things that people are going to be emailing my team with regardless. So this way we can just copy paste these answers for them or just redirect them to this section of the sales page. And then I have here kind of this last little section, which again is not necessary, but I'm just further qualifying people. And it's just this last little bit that it's like, if you've read this far and this resonates with you, but you're still not sure, then maybe this will help you get the clarity to whether or not this is the right offer for you. Like I said earlier in this video, my approach to sales pages and selling in general is it's not about convincing people. It's about communicating the value, which I feel like I've done very well on the sales page so far. And speaking to people, connecting with them, letting them know if this is right for them or not, letting them know, if you're struggling with this and this is what you desire, then this is for you. But also here, I'm just going to say, this is for you if you're done waiting to reach your next level of wealth and are ready to step into it now. You feel like the traditional approach to money doesn't serve you and you want a place to dive deeply into the intersection of money and spirituality. That's a really important thing. Not everyone wants that. That's not for everyone. This is not for everyone. And no, your offer should not be for everyone. You can't be for everyone. You just can't be. That's impossible. With how many billions of people we have in the world, you cannot be the right match for everyone. Your offer cannot be the right match for everyone. Not everyone is having these struggles and these desires. So I'm really qualifying here. This is a really important one to me, is that if you're not interested in this kind of intersection of money and spirituality, this probably isn't for you. Doesn't mean you have to be super passionate about it, but if you're like, I absolutely hate spirituality, I want straight up logic at every step, and I want none of this speak about manifestation or anything, this is not the right space for you, right? I say a couple other things. I say you crave support, encouragement, connection, and discussion in a like-minded community. You want a space where you can suspend your disbelief, detach from what is, and tune into what you desire to create. Again, that's not everybody. You don't want to just build a rich life where you have a lot of money, but you want to build a wealthy life where you have it all. Again, that's not some people just want the money. That's where they're at in life. So it's like, again, I'm further qualifying and just confirming to people that if they've read this far and they're still like, I think I want it, but I'm not sure if it's worth it, or I'm not sure if I'm ready to buy. Like, this is this last little piece that it's like, look, if this is you, then I'm confident you're going to love this space. So I'm going to communicate that to you. But if this is not you, great, then don't buy, right? So there you go. And there's again another button to enroll or to join a waitlist if enrollment's not open. I have I think 3 or 4 of those throughout the page. One other thing I wanted to mention is that you will notice I don't have any testimonials on here. I don't have a space for testimonials right now. And that's because this is a brand new offer. This is a brand new membership. I have a lot of testimonials in my business from past clients, from past offers I've created, some that are loosely related to this, but this really is a kind of new niche for me in my business. And so I don't really have any really strong testimonials, maybe 1 or 2 that really speak directly to this offer. And so I don't really want to put any on here yet. I will probably ask people, the first founding members of the membership, to let me know what they think and ask if I can use their thoughts as reviews or testimonials on my sales page, and update the sales page about a month or 2 into the membership with some testimonials. And that'll just strengthen the page, right? People love to see that social proof, but I don't have any on here right now, and that's okay. I will probably add some in. I'll see where my team thinks is the best place to put them. Maybe after this section here where I introduce the Wealth Vibe membership, we might put some more in after the pricing and enrollment info, maybe some more at the very bottom of the page. So yeah, that's the plan with those. Yeah, and overall that's the sales page. So I hope this was helpful for you. This is a long one, but I'm very, very pleased with it.
All right, so that's the sales page. I hope that that gave you some insights into how I create my sales page content, how I structure it. Again, if you want my outline or general template of how I kind of order the content and what's included in my sales pages, be sure to join the VIP upgrade for Launch With Me. Link for that is in the description below this video. Now, in the next video, I will be talking about content strategy for this launch, meaning how I promote, sell, share my offer through written content, social media posts, YouTube videos, things like that. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And then let me know in the comments, how did you like this video? Tell me if you had any aha moments, any breakthroughs, and if you're launching alongside me, I would love to hear what you love most about your sales page, or even share your URL for your sales page in the comments below. Show it off. Be proud of creating a sales page. It's not an easy feat. I would love to get to celebrate you for creating yours. Be sure to share it below if you want to. All right, I will talk to you all in our next video, which will probably be in another, hopefully 4 to 7 days, but we'll see when I have the promo content ready for the Wealth by Membership, and then we'll walk through it together. Talk to you then.